And money continues. Let's go to Judges 5, and we want 19. The king came and then fought the king of Canaan in Tanasha by the waters of Megiddo. They took no gain of money. Let's go to Judges 16 and 18. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, Come up this once, for he has showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hands. Let's go to 17 and 4. Let he restore the money unto his mother. And his mother took 200 shekels of silver and gave them to the founder, who made thereof a graven image and a molten image, and they were in the house of Micah. Let's go to 1 Kings 21, and we want 2. And Ahab spoke unto Naboth, saying, Give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs, because it is near my home, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it. Or, if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money. Let's skip down to 6. And he said unto her, Because I speak unto Naboth the Jebulite, and said unto them, Give me thy vineyard for money, or else, if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give my vineyard. Let's skip down to 15. And it came to pass, when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said to Ahab, Arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Jebulite, which he refused to give thee for money, for Naboth is not alive, but dead. Let's go to 2 Kings, and we want 5 and 26. And he said unto him, Want not my heart with thee, when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee? Is it a time to receive money, and to receive garments, and olive yards, and vineyards, and sheep, and oxen, and manservants, and maidservants? 2 Kings 12, 4 through 16. And Jehoash said unto the priests, All the money of the dedicated things that is brought into the house of the Lord, even the money of every one that passes the account, the money that every man is set at, and all the money that cometh into any man's heart to bring unto the house of the Lord, let the priest take it to them, every man of his accountance, and let them repair the breaches of the house, wheresoever any breach shall be found. But it was so that in the 23 year of King Joash, that the priest had not repaired the breaches of the house. And then the king of Jehoash called for Jehoiada the priest and the other priests, and said unto them, Why repair ye not the breaches of the house? Now therefore receive no money of your acquaintances, but deliver it for the breaches of the house. And the priests consisted to receive no more money of the people, neither to repair the breaches of the house. But Jehoiada the priest took a chest, and bore a hole in the lid of it, and set it beside the altar, on the right side, as one cometh into the house of the Lord. And the priest that kept the door put therein all the money that was brought into the house of the Lord. And it was so, then they saw that there was much money in the chest, that the king's scribe and the high priest came up, and they put up in bags, and told the money that was found in the house of the Lord. And they gave the money, being told, unto the hand of them that did the work, that had the oversight of the house of the Lord, and they laid it out to the carpenters and the builders that wrought upon the house of the Lord, and to masons and hewers of stone to buy timber and hew stones to repair the breaches of the house of the Lord, for all that was laid out for the house to repair it. Howbeit there were not made for the house of the Lord bowls of silver, snuffers, basins, tablets, any vessels of gold, or vessels of silver, for the money that was brought into the house of the Lord. But they gave that to the workmen, and repaired therein the house of the Lord. And moreover, they reckoned not with the men, unto whose hand they delivered the money, to be bestowed on the workmen, for they dwelt faithfully. The trespass money and the sin money was not brought into the house of the Lord, it was the priest. And Hazael the king of Syria went up and brought again Gath, and took it, and Hazael, and set his face to go up to Jerusalem. Let's go to 15 and 20. And Menahem expected the money of Israel, even of all the mighty men of wealth, of each man 50 shekels of silver, to give to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria turned back and stayed not there in the land. Let's go to 2 Kings 22 and 7 through 9. Howbeit there was no reckoning made with them of the money that was delivered into their hands, because they dealt faithfully. And Hilkiah the high priest said unto Shaphan the scribe, I have found the books of the law of the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah gave the book to Shaphan, and he read it. And Shaphan the scribe came unto the king, and brought the king the word again, and said, Thy servant had gathered the money that was found in the house, and had delivered it into the hand of them that do the work, and that have oversight of the house of the Lord. Let's go to 23 and 35. And Jehoiakim gave the silver and the gold to Pharaoh, but he taxed the land to give the money according to the commandment of Pharaoh. He expected the silver, the gold of the people of the land, of every one according to his taxation, to give unto Pharaoh Nechoch. Let's go to 2 Chronicles, and we want 24 and 5. And he gathered together the priests and the Levites, and said unto them, Go out into the city of Judah, and gather all of Israel's money to repair the house of your God from year to year, and see that he hasten the matter. Howbeit the Levites hasten it not. Let's skip down and go to 11 through 14. Now it came to pass that at what time the chest was brought into the king's office by the hand of the Levites, and when they saw that there was much money, the king, the scribes, and the high priests offered, come and implied the chest, and took it, and carried it to his place again. And they did day by day, and gathered money in abundance. And the king of Jehoiada gave it to such as did the work of the service of the Lord of the house of the Lord, and hired masons and carpenters to repair the house of the Lord, and also such as wrought iron and brass, and mend the house of the Lord. So the workmen weighed and worked, and was perfect by them. And they set the house of God in his state, and strengthened it. And when they had finished it, they brought the rest of the money before the king and Jehoiada, whereof were made vessels for the house of the Lord, even vessels of my minister to offer withal, and spoon vessels of gold and silver, And they offered burnt offering in the house of the Lord, continue all the days of Jehoiada. Let's go to 2 Chronicles, and we want 34 and 9 through 13. And when they came to Hilkiah the high priest, they delivered the money that was brought into the house of God, which the Levites that kept the doors had gathered of the hand of Manasseh and Ephraim, and of all the raiment of Israel, and all the Judah and Benjamin, and they returned to Jerusalem. And they put it in the hands of the workmen that had the oversight of the house of the Lord. And they gave it to the workmen that wrought in the house of the Lord to repair and amend the house. Even to the articles and builders gave they it, to buy hewn stone and timber for completing, and the floor, the house which the king of Judah had destroyed. And the men did the work faithfully, and the overseers of them were Jahath and Obadiah, the Levites of the son of Misham, the son of Kohathus, to set it forward, and other of the Levites, all that could the skill of entertainment and music. Also they were over the bearers and burdens, and there were overseers of all that worked the work in any manner of service. And the Levites there were scribes and officers and porters. Let's go on down from 14 to 17. And when they brought out the money that was brought into the house of the Lord, Hilkiah the priest found a book of the law of the Lord given by Moses. And Hilkiah the king answered and said to Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah delivered the book to Shaphan. And Shaphan carried the book to the king, and brought the king's word back again, saying, all that was commended to thy servants, they do it, and they have gathered together the money that was found in the house of the Lord, and have delivered it to the hands of the overseers, and to the hand of the workmen. Let's go to Ezra 3, and we want 6 and 7. From the first day of the 7th month began they to offer burnt offering unto the Lord, but the foundation of the temple of the Lord was not yet laid. They gave money also unto the masons, unto the carpenters, and meat and drink and oil unto them of Zidon, and to them of Tyre, to bring cedar trees from Lebanon to the sea of Joppa, according to the grant that they had of Cyrus the king of Persia. Let's go to chapter 7, and we want 16 and 17. All the silver and gold that thou canst find in all the province of Babylon was the free will offering of the people and of the priests, offering willingly for the house of their God which is in Jerusalem, that thou mayest buy speedily with this money bullocks, rams, lambs, with their meat offering and their drink offering, and offer them unto the altar of the house of your God which is in Jerusalem. And the strongest concordance is 3701. Silver. From its pale color, price silver.